His name was Mu Yin, and he had just been diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. He intended to return home and seek comfort from his wife. But unexpectedly, his wife, Fang Yushua, reached out for money, asking him to buy her brother a car. Mu Yin tightly gripped the critical illness notice in his hand, his heart filled with pain. Since marrying Fang Yushua, he had fallen into the Fang family's vampiric trap, where they continuously drained him for money, buying cars, houses, and funding his brother-in-law's wedding. Everything came from him. He told his wife he had no money left. Fang Yushua quickly stood up and asked, "What about your salary this month?" She reached into Mu Yan's pocket. "Didn't I tell you to get the pension money from your useless parents?" When she found that Mu Yan's pocket was indeed empty, she slapped him across the face, yelling, "You're such a waste." Mu Yan's heart sank. Money, money, money. Again, it's all about money. Fang Yushua, hearing this, grabbed a cup from the table and threw it at Mu Yan, shouting, "You useless piece of trash, how dare you laugh?" Mu Yan sneered, "I'm useless? Even if I earned $1 billion a month, it wouldn't be enough for your family to spend. Isn't Fang family your family too? Why is it wrong to use your own money? Why are you so heartless, not caring about family bonds?" "Family bonds? I've had enough of this kind of family." Fang Yushua sneered. "Had enough? Fine, then just go die. But before you die, use your last bit of worth. I'll buy you an accident insurance policy first, then you can die." Mu Yin, after hearing this, decided not to stay any longer. He turned and jumped out of the window, his parents' aged faces flashing through his mind. "Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I'll treat you better in the next life." But when he opened his eyes, he found himself kneeling in the Fang family's living room, the mocking voices of his mother-in-law and brother-in-law still echoing in his ears. Mu Yin snapped out of it, forcing his eyes open, not believing that he was still alive. He muttered in confusion, "Mom?" His mother-in-law, with a look of disdain, said, "Who's your mom? Pay an additional $400,000 for the dowry. Then you can call me Mom." Mu Yin suddenly recalled the scene from 8 years ago when he proposed to Fang Yushua. His mother-in-law urged, "So, have you thought it over? My daughter isn't someone just anyone can marry. Those who want to marry her have to queue up all the way to abroad. If I didn't think you were honest, I wouldn't have agreed, but you better not think about lowering the dowry by a single cent." Mu Yin stood up with a dark expression and sneered, "What do I need to think about? Since I get a second chance, I'll never repeat the same mistake and fall into Fang's family's vampire trap again." Hearing Mu Yan's words, his mother-in-law became furious. "Think carefully. Isn't my daughter worth $1 million? Mu Yin stared at everyone expressionlessly. "Are your ears broken or your brain? Listen carefully. I'm not giving a single cent for the dowry." Fang Yushua stood up angrily and questioned, "How can you say that? It wasn't easy for my parents to raise you. Shouldn't you give a little dowry?" "$1 million dowry? Is your mom marrying off a daughter or selling her? What do you even bring to the table? A submissive wife? Or a brother who only asks for money and can't do anything?" Fang Yushua's brother, enraged, threw a punch at Mu Yin. Mu Yin dodged it with a quick sidestep, then swiftly pinned Fang Yushua's brother to the ground. His mother-in-law, realizing the situation, played the emotional card. "He's your brother, your family. Let him go now." "Family? I'm not married to your daughter, and she's not my family. From now on, I have nothing to do with the Fang family." Fang Yushua chased after him, asking, "Doesn't our relationship mean more to you than money? Did you ever think about how hard my parents worked to raise 500,000? You don't need me, you need a cash cow." Mu Yin clearly remembered the previous life, when his father won 500,000 from the lottery, which became the dowry for Fang Yushua. He had memorized that winning number. This jackpot was at a full billion. The number he remembered was just one digit off. He walked into the lottery shop and directly called out the winning number. After claiming the ticket, he swore to never let his parents suffer again. At that moment, a system prompt appeared before him. "Congratulations, host, for successfully binding the moon's iGod system. Newbie guide task. Acquire 100 million assets and own your own industry. Failure will result in losing your life." A mysterious red eye appeared in his palm. "What a joke, I've just come back to life." A familiar voice broke his thoughts. It was his childhood friend, Meng Yao. In the previous life, Meng Yao's mother was scammed out of 500,000 through gambling. And when Meng Yao came to find him, he was stuck in the Fong family and couldn't return. Later, he heard they couldn't repay the money and were forced to death by loan sharks. In this life, he was determined to protect her and never let that tragedy repeat. He saw Meng Yao being controlled by two thugs, trapped in a corner. Just as the thugs were about to make a move, Mu Yin arrived in time, launching a powerful counterattack. The thugs introduced themselves as Wuji Tianzuan from Shengli Road. Who the hell dares to hit me? It was always them doing the hitting. Nobody dared to touch them. The thug threw a punch, but Mu Yin quickly grabbed it with a reverse hold. With your third-rate skills, you call yourself Wuji Tianzuan? If you don't want your hand to turn into a pretzel, stop moving. The man beside them, with yellow hair, was fuming with rage, showing his weapon. You hurt my brother. Today, I'll make sure to ruin you. Mu Yin stopped them from moving. Isn't it just about money? If you dare make another move, forget about getting that money. I'll guarantee 500,000 within 3 days, not a single cent less. Although the thugs looked at Mu Yin and thought he looked like a poor loser, not someone capable of coming up with 500,000. Since someone was willing to take on this debt, they could go ahead and report back. But if there's no money by then, we'll take this little girl as collateral. Our boss is the owner of Fuda Real Estate, and if you can't pay up, he'll personally come and break both your arms. At this moment, the system suddenly prompted, keywords for this task, Fuda Real Estate. Please complete the task as soon as possible. The host's life is tied to survival points, which are extremely low at the moment, and the host body will randomly show adverse symptoms. Mu Yin thought, Fuda Real Estate? Isn't that the company going bankrupt soon? And my life depends on survival points? This is too crazy. But suddenly his head spun. He collapsed into Meng Yao's arms and quickly explained, I didn't eat lunch. I'm just exhausted. So this is the random adverse symptom? Looks like the system really controls my life. After Mu Yin left the Fong family, the place was in chaos. Usually, Mu Yin obeyed the Fong family like a dog, but today, he suddenly exploded. Fong's father raised his hand to hit his daughter. You can't even keep a man. What use are you? Fong's mother hurriedly protected her daughter. Don't you think Mu Yin is acting strange today? Fong's father had a sudden realization. He's always been obedient to us. Has he gotten rich and now wants to kick my daughter out? He seemed to feel more convinced by his guess and quickly called Fong Yushua to check. If that kid really got rich, we'll add more dowry and turn his money into ours. Fong's mother hurriedly urged her daughter to go check on Mu Yan. The scene shifts to Mu Yan's house, where the two of them had just finished eating. Mu Yan, ever thoughtful, brought over cut fruit and handed it to Meng Yao. Have some fruit and rest for a bit. Just then, the door to Mu Yan's house was knocked, and Meng Yao said she would answer it. It was Fong Yushue, sent by her parents to find Mu Yan. Fong Yushue stormed in, yelling at Mu Yan, delivering the 3 soul-crushing questions. Do you have someone else? Do you no longer love me? Tell me clearly. Mu Yan replied helplessly. Why are you still here? Haven't I already made it clear? We have no relationship anymore. Or is it that your family, or your shallow father, just can't let go? You shouldn't be like this. Tell me, you don't want to go on, do you? You gathered the dowry, but now you're backing out. Mu Yan sighed. There's no one else, but we're definitely not going to work. For the sake of our long relationship, here's my last piece of advice. Leave your family as soon as possible. Maybe then you can live more freely. Fong Yushua stormed off in anger. Mu Yan, you bastard. I'll make you regret this. Mu Yan, bro, what happened with Yushua? Didn't you two always seem so in love? Why the sudden change? It's nothing. I'm going out for a while. I might not come back tonight. You stay here tonight. After so many years of feelings, how could it be forgotten so easily? Never mind. I'll go out and see if there's a business opportunity. By evening, the streets of Jiang City were packed with people at the lottery store. A reporter asked, You're the winner of this issue's third prize, right? We noticed that the third prize is just one number away from the first prize. Do you feel regretful? Sure enough, Mu Yan's father had come to claim the prize. I just want to help my son gather enough for the dowry and let him get married. Mu Yin thought to himself. Good thing I've been at the store all along and already cashed the prize. Otherwise, it'd be troublesome dealing with these reporters. Mu Yin looked at the newspaper, which said Fuda Real Estate was on the brink of collapse. Looks like the system wants me to acquire Fuda Real Estate. Looking at it now, Fuda Real Estate is indeed the best investment. Everyone has given up on Fuda's position, but who would have thought that in the future, the biggest business hub in Jiang City would be here? If I acquire Fuda, I'll be the wealthiest person in Jiang City in a year. That's right, this plot of land will be the origin of my career. My opportunity to make money is coming. The next morning, Mu Yin arrived at Fuda Group, seeing the crowd at the entrance. Didn't Fuda go bankrupt? Has someone already bought them out? At this moment, the system prompted, only 1 hour left until the task deadline. Please complete the task as soon as possible, or the host will lose their life. Mu Yin pressed his hand to his chest. My heart hurts. If it weren't for exchanging the prize money at the bank, I wouldn't have wasted so much time. Mu Yin looked at the workers nearby and asked, what are you guys doing? Hey, young man, we're on strike. Fuda has owed wages for half a year, and we heard the big boss has run away. The second boss is in deep trouble, owes a mountain of debt, and has no money to pay wages. That's why it's gotten so out of hand. Now we're just asking for an explanation and to get our money back. The big boss ran away? Is the news reliable? This news came from an insider at the company. The second boss is still being blocked by us. After saying that, Mu Yin squeezed into the crowd. I have less than an hour to live. I need to hurry. The workers nearby shouted, greedy boss, pay us back. Pay for our hard-earned money. If you don't give the money today, don't even think about leaving. Inside the car, the bald-headed bodyguard gritted his teeth. How can these people be so crazy, not caring about their lives? Should I call someone to teach them a lesson? At this moment, Mu Yin was already standing outside the car, glaring at them. He knocked on the car window, scaring the bald-headed bodyguard to open the window and yell at him. Mu Yin took the opportunity to dive into the car, his movements smooth and flawless. Bodyguard Li Biao yelled, You little bastard, who let you in? Get out. Mu Yin ignored him and looked at the second boss, Kong Li, smiling. Mr. Kong, right? I have something important to discuss with you. Didn't you hear me? Get out. If you don't leave, there will be consequences. Mu Yin narrowed his eyes. What I'm about to say concerns whether Mr. Kong will spend the rest of his life in prison. Are you sure you want me to leave? Li Biao scoffed. You're just like the others, here to ask for money. Kong Li sighed. Young man, I didn't want to see the wage issue either, but I've already started finding ways to raise the money. Pressuring me now won't help. Mr. Kong, you misunderstood. I'm here to give you money. I'll help cover all the economic losses, including the overdue wages, but I want to acquire Fuda Real Estate. From now on, I'll be the owner of this place. Kong Li sneered. Just you? Don't talk about acquiring. Even filling the wages for the workers is a huge amount for you. Stop wasting my time and just name a number. System prompt. 10 minutes left on the task countdown. Kong Li said 5 million. Otherwise, forget about getting any ideas about Fuda Real Estate. All right, so 5 million, huh? Kong Li's last bit of hope faded. A little brat, without even a hair on his chest, dares to mock me. He shouted for Li Biao to throw him out. Li Biao grabbed Mu Yin by the collar and dragged him toward the car. You little brat pretending here, do you think this is a game? Mu Yin was too lazy to argue, and with one slap, pushed Li Biao back into his seat. Young man, although Kong Li can't give you that much money for the workers right now, I don't have time to mess around with you. Don't worry, I'll take the land for 50 million, and I can send the money to you immediately, but all the land under your name must be sold to me. Kong Li's expression changed. A while ago, he bought a lot of land in East City, and if it weren't for his impulse, he wouldn't have gotten stuck with it all. If he could sell it all now, it would solve his urgent problem. He hurriedly asked, You're not fooling me, right? Mr. Kong, do I look like I'm joking? Just name your price. System prompt. 5 minutes left until the task deadline. Li Biao was also shocked. This kid must be a fool, right? Who doesn't know that the land in that area has drastically depreciated, and yet he's still willing to buy it at a high price? Isn't that a lack of sense? System prompt. Less than 3 minutes left on the task, the host's vitality is draining and vision is almost gone. If the task is not completed by the deadline, the host will die on the spot. Mu Yin, enduring the pain, asked, "Mr. Kong, have you decided?" Kong Li owed a huge debt and couldn't wait to get rid of it. Mu Yin was determined to acquire Fuda. "No problem. For 20 million, I'll let go of this piece of land immediately." By now, Mu Yin could no longer hear what Kong Li was saying, but judging by his lip movements and gestures, it should be 20 million. "Then can we proceed with the paperwork?" "I'm in a hurry." Kong Li, being a smart man, quickly changed his tune and shouted, "Yin, I'll have Li Biao bring the contract right away." System prompt. 10 seconds left on the task countdown. The host's vitality is fading and vision is nearly gone. "In 10 seconds, I can definitely get the contract signed." Mu Yin gritted his teeth, shaking as he swiped his card. Finally, at the last second, the system confirmed the transaction as successful. Mu Yin slouched his chair as if he were drowning. "I should have completed the task, right? But why do I still feel so weak? My life is just beginning. How can I die here?" System prompt. "Congratulations, host, for completing the beginner task, earning 10 survival points with an additional 3 survival points as a reward." Unlocking the system mall. Survival points come from the host's income, investments, and system task rewards. The host currently consumes 1 survival point per day, and the higher the survival points, the better the host's physical condition. Survival points can also be used in the system mall to purchase items. Suddenly, with a clang, a brick shattered the car window, and people outside shouted, "Don't let him run. If he gets away, will we find him?" Li Biao hurriedly asked, "Mr. Kong, are you okay? What should we do now? Should I call someone to drive them away?" Kong Li, caught up in his joy, had forgotten about the workers outside. But now that Fuda was under new ownership, he subconsciously looked at Mu Yin and said, "Mr. Yin, what do you think of this? Since the money had already been transferred, just give it to them." His body was slowly recovering, but he still couldn't relax. He needed to find a way to accumulate more survival points. Kong Li quickly nodded, as Mr. Yin said, "We'll pay the wages tonight." After saying that, Li Biao opened the sunroof, grabbed the loudspeaker, and shouted, "You all go back for now. The boss said your wages will be paid tonight." The crowd around them immediately fell silent. "Is this true? They've owed us wages for half a year. Yeah, what if you guys run away again? Fine, let's give them another chance. If they don't pay tonight, we'll report them." Although Li Biao appeared tough, he was truly frightened by the workers this time. Hearing that they could leave, he immediately slammed the accelerator. After a while, they arrived at Fuda Group. Once inside the company, Kong Li hurriedly handed Mu Yin the project proposal. Mu Yin took out a pen and drew on it. This area within the circle should remain untouched. Then, he drew an empty space nearby. "Go ahead and buy this land immediately." Kong Li's face showed hesitation. "Mr. Yin, this land is in a very remote location. All of it is abandoned. Although it's cheap, it really doesn't have much value. To be blunt, even if we gave it away for free, people wouldn't want it." Mu Yin's tone was firm. "You don't need to worry about that. Just listen to me. In a previous life, several schools were built on this empty land. After buying it, Mu Yin planned to build a large shopping mall, specialty restaurants, a food street, bookstores, and most importantly, a hotel. The design must be fresh and unique, geared towards a youthful vibe. You're in charge of finding the construction team. It doesn't have to be fast, but it must be stable. The quality must pass." Kong Li, seeing Mu Yin's confidence, nodded quickly in agreement. Noticing Kong Li hesitating, Mu Yin smiled slightly. "Don't worry. Follow me and I'll make sure you're not left behind. Trust my judgment. By the way, Mr. Yin, there's an investment dinner at Jingpeng Hotel tonight. I hear there are many projects. If you're interested, I'll go with you tonight. Survival points come from my income and investments. If I manage to invest successfully, I should gain a good amount of survival points." That evening, at Jingpeng Hotel, Mu Yin asked at the front desk, "Hello, which floor is the investment dinner on tonight?" Before the reply came, out of the corner of his eye, Mu Yin spotted Fan Yushu and wondered, What is she doing here? He saw her wearing a revealing dress, accompanied by a greasy middle-aged man. The man leered at her chest while saying, "Miss Fong, the last time we met was 3 months ago, and now you look even more beautiful." At this moment, Fong Yushue was still complaining about Mu Yin. If Mu Yin had just handed over the dowry like he should have, I wouldn't have to entertain this disgusting man. But then, she suddenly looked up and was shocked to see Mu Yin standing right in front of her. Mu Yin stared at her intently, intending to ask why she was here, but saw Fong Yushue quickly turn her head to the other side. Beside her, Ma Dong wondered if they knew each other. How much does Fong Yushue hate him? Just a few days after the breakup, she's already dressing like this to accompany another man? Mu Yin felt a mix of emotions. Forget it. It's no longer my concern. At this moment, Ma Dong deliberately bumped into Mu Yin. Mu Yin, feeling enraged, said, "What are you doing?" "What am I doing? You're standing in the middle of the road, blocking the way for me and my girlfriend." Then he pointed his middle finger at Mu Yin, shouting, "Do you know where this place is? Someone like you, a poor kid, doesn't belong here. You think you deserve to be here? You little brat, you've got some guts, daring to flirt with my girlfriend right in front of me." Mu Yin couldn't be bothered to argue with someone like this and directly asked Fong Yushue, "What's your relationship with him? Did you choose to dress like this willingly?" Fong Yushue turned her head away. "It's none of your business." She subconsciously tightened her grip on Ma Dong's arm. Ma Dong spoke proudly, "Kid, did you hear that? You'd better not stare at what doesn't belong to you, or the one who ends up suffering is you." Watching them walk away, Mu Yan's anger burned. He had always thought Fong Yushue was a pure and kind girl, unaffected by her family's affairs, but it seemed he was wrong. He clenched his fists, but then thought, "We've broken up. Let her do whatever she wants." Mu Yin steadied himself, realizing there were more important matters at hand, and walked toward the security guard. System task. Host, please invest in and sign with the company tonight to earn 10 survival points. Signing with a company isn't difficult, right? There are plenty of companies here that will thrive in the future. But suddenly, the security guard blocked his path. "Stop. Do you know what place this is? No outsiders allowed." "I know. It's the investment dinner." "If you know it's the investment dinner, why are you running around like a headless fly? Do you know who's inside? Those big bosses are worth millions. Do you have the qualifications to go in?" Mu Yin suppressed his frustration and slowly replied, "I'm here to invest in companies as well." But the security guard couldn't help but laugh. "What are you pretending to be, a big boss in this outfit? The boss of a cleaning service? Go away, go away. No one here needs housekeeping services. Does investing depend on how you're dressed? It's just one suit away. Is that such a big deal?" Just then, the security guard's eyes lit up and he respectfully called out to someone behind Mu Yin, "Hello, Mr. Ma." Ma Dong smiled mockingly. "Oh, isn't this the little brother from downstairs? How is it that after just a few words with me, you're now following me up here? Do you really think this place is for you?" The security guard cooperated with a smile. "Exactly, Mr. Ma. This kid doesn't even know what he's talking about, claiming to be here for investment. With your demeanor, you want to invest? Instead of wasting your time here, you should think about how to earn money and buy yourself a suit. It would be better than embarrassing yourself here. Kid, having thick skin is a good thing, but you're using it in the wrong place. When it comes to chasing women, what's the use of just thick skin? You need capital, and do you really think you can lay your hands on my woman?" Ma Dong suddenly released Fong Yushue from his arms, a look of surprise on his face as he ran toward the elevator. "Ah, Mr. Kong, long time no see." Seeing Fong Yushue left alone, Mu Yin hesitated for a moment, then asked, "Is this all for money?" "None of your business. Is money really that important? Will you accompany anyone just for money? Is it worth dressing like this and using your body in exchange?" At this point, Ma Dong excitedly said, "Mr. Kong, I heard your company was acquired by a benefactor. Not only did it stop the losses, but it's now heading in a better direction. Truly a happy occasion." Kong Li replied politely, "I'm just lucky. I was losing sleep over it, but unexpectedly, this turnaround happened. By the way, about Ma Dong's business." Upon hearing this, Ma Dong's face immediately fell. "No, recently the company's situation hasn't been good, but I don't have luck like Mr. Kong's. Mr. Kong, We've always had a good relationship. Could you introduce me to that benefactor? Suddenly, Kong Li was attracted by the figure ahead and shouted, Mr. Mu. He quickly moved forward with Li Biao. Ma Dong froze. Did Kong Li just call that poor kid Mr. Mu? Impossible. Fang Yuxiue was also stunned. In her mind, Mu Yin was just a mediocre employee. How could even a big boss like Kong Li call him Mr. Mu? Ma Dong, standing beside her, said mockingly, Mr. Kong, you're mistaken. Why are you calling this yellow-haired kid the boss? Ma Dong, don't judge by appearances. Mr. Mu is now the big boss of Fuda. Ma Dong, ever quick-witted in business, snapped back. You mean he's the one who acquired your company? Kong Li nodded affirmatively and replied, Yes, this is our Mr. Mu. Ma Dong awkwardly walked up. Little brother, please don't take my words to heart. I should have called you Mr. Mu. I truly didn't know your identity. Please don't be angry. This was my mistake, and from now on, if you need anything, just tell me, I'll make sure to do it. Please calm down, and after the investment dinner, would you consider having a meal with me? Mu Yin glanced at him with a cold smile. Is that so? Ma Dong quickly replied, Yes, yes. His attitude was just like the security guard who had been flattering earlier. Mu Yin nodded, suddenly uttering one word, Scram. Ma Dong's smile immediately froze. Damn little bastard, you're giving me face and still acting up. Just because you have a bit of money, you think you're special? Let's see how I deal with you later. Kong Li curiously asked, Mu Yin, do you have a target for this investment? Mu Yin shook his head. Not yet, let's see. The few companies he had in mind were already surrounded by people, so it seemed there was no chance left. But Mu Yin noticed a small company that was being ignored, Xingyun Group, the leading internet company in his past life. Just as Mu Yin was observing, a man across from him handed over his business card and said, Hello, Mr. Yin. Our Xingyun Group specializes in internet products, mainly wireless routers. Here's my business card. The business card showed that the founder was Zhang Pangyue. The founder of Xingyun Group had personally come to solicit investments, showing that his success wasn't without reason. Kong Li, looking at the business card, cautiously said to Mu Yin, Mr. Yin, I don't see much market for routers. They were produced overseas before. The people around them shook their heads, saying, Indeed, routers are too ahead of their time, and they might not take off in the domestic market. It's better to invest in computer hardware. Exactly. Internet access isn't expensive now. Everyone can afford it. Who needs this extra cost? But the man explained even more sincerely, Gentlemen, I know you're not optimistic about our company's future, but please believe me, in a few years, wireless internet will dominate the market, and it will definitely become the mainstream. The people around them mocked. This kind of small business doesn't even have the qualifications to enter. How did he manage to get in? Right, with a product that has no future and is unstable. Only a fool would invest. I'll invest. Mu Yin pulled out his bank card and confidently walked up to Zhang Pangyue. I'll invest 15 million in your routers. Zhang Pingyue's eyes were full of disbelief. Did you just say you'll invest 15 million in our company? Mu Yin smirked. Yes, you heard me right. I have high hopes for your company. Though Xingyun Group hasn't shown its potential yet, I believe with the growth of the internet, Xingyun will have a brilliant future. Suddenly, Ma Dong squeezed through the crowd. Bullshit. Don't listen to this kid. He has no ability, just talks big. He was even stopped by the security earlier. Kong Li frowned. Ma Dong, we've known each other for a long time. I don't want to go too far, but you better tone it down and stop talking nonsense here. Ma Dong hiccuped, as if he'd found a weakness in Kong Li. Everyone knows I worked with Kong Li and Longton Group. Kong Li's in massive debt and deliberately withheld salaries. But now he's trying to liquidate the company and pocket the money. Kong Li, if you were smart, you wouldn't be this guy's lackey. Mu Yin stopped the agitated Kong Li. So you're confident that I don't have 15 million to invest? Ma Dong glared at Mu Yin with malice. I, Ma Dong, have always been confident, especially in front of someone like you, a good-for-nothing. I've never heard of this so-called Mu Yin rich second generation. Since you don't believe me, let's make a bet. Let's bet on whether I have the money to invest in Xingyun, and bet on the truth behind Fuda. Fine, let's bet. There's no way you have money to invest in Xingyun. You've already lost this bet. Good, Ma Dong, you're bold. But if you lose, you have to clarify Fuda's situation, publicly kneel and apologize, and slap yourself 3 times. Of course, if I lose, I'll do the same. Do you still dare to bet? Mu Yin had just acquired Fuda and likely didn't have money to invest in Xingyan. But in life, there are always surprises. If he lost, his credibility and reputation would be ruined. Just then, a man in a custom suit, exuding an extraordinary presence, walked over. It was none other than the second son of the Tang family, the most powerful family in Jiang City, Tang Ning, Ma Dong. Don't spoil the fun for everyone now. Ma Dong froze for a moment, then immediately put on a flattering smile. Tang Xiao, what brings you here? Tang Ning smiled lightly. Don't worry about me, continue. Ma Dong awkwardly replied. Tang Xiao, you're joking. We were just messing around. Didn't plan to bet on anything. I'm sorry for the trouble. Hearing this, Tang Ning's expression changed. Ma Dong, you're not being fair. It's hard to come across something interesting, and now you want to end it just because I arrived? What? Do you have something against me? Ma Dong turned pale with fright and quickly explained. No. Tang Xiao, you misunderstood. I admire you so much. How could I have any objections? We'll bet, of course. Kong Li saw the situation escalating and quickly advised. Mu Yin, think carefully. Are you really going to bet with Ma Dong? Mu Yin, while saying bet, of course we'll bet, was searching his pants pocket. Huh, where's my bank card? Fang Yuxue, unable to watch any longer, walked over and said, Hey Mu Yin, I advise you to stop embarrassing yourself here. Just leave. Ma Dong, seeing Fang Yuxue approach, immediately pulled her into his arms and mocked. Fang Yuxue, did you see that? This kind of useless trash can't be trusted, still pretending like this, unwilling to admit mistakes, truly pathetic. Mu Yan's face suddenly lit up with a smile. Found it, he said to Zhang Penyue beside him. Mr. Zhang, in both life and business, integrity matters. I have money in this card. If you agree to cooperate, I can transfer the investment to you right now. Good, I agree to cooperate. I'll go get the equipment right now. To his surprise, this young man, though dressed plainly, carried himself with great composure, truly someone worth trusting. Ma Dong suddenly shouted loudly, snatching the bank card from Mu Yan's hand. You really enjoy pretending, don't you? Everyone look, a guy who casually pulls out 15 million, yet still uses such an ordinary bank card. Who believes that? Do you believe it? Mu Yin grabbed the bank card. Isn't it simple to just check if there's money? But the machine's prompt stunned Mu Yin. Insufficient balance. Transaction cannot be completed. Ma Dong laughed so hard he almost cried. At this point, what else can you say? You've been talking about tens of millions. You should be an actor with that face. Mu Yin, I'm not unreasonable for Fang Yushua's sake. Just apologize to me and kneel, and we'll call it even. Ma Dong knew Tang Ning's personality. Either you don't intervene, or you do it all the way. Sure enough, Tang Ning spoke. Young man, integrity is the most important thing in life. You should accept the bet. Ma Dong, I don't think this is so simple. We all know that large transactions in banks often encounter issues. How about I call a professional over to take a look? Ma Dong didn't want to complicate matters, quickly calling over security. Some of you, surround this kid, then give him a chance. If he refuses to kneel and apologize, we'll beat him until he does. Li Biao, Mu Yan's #1 enforcer, immediately stepped in front of Mu Yan and shouted, I'll show you who dares to touch him. Mu Yan coldly snorted, moved forward in a flash, and swiftly took down several of the security guards. Ma Dong was furious. If you've got the guts, just wait. You're just a useless big guy with no other worth. Fang Yuxue was also shocked. Is this the Mu Yan I know? When did he become so tough? Tang Ning, who had remained expressionless, now looked at Mu Yan with a spark in his eyes. This kid's speed is incredible. He took down several guards in the blink of an eye. Truly, never judge a book by its cover. At that moment, a bank staff member walked over and said, We received a call from President Kong and came to check the situation. Please step aside. Tang Ning, the second young master of the Tang family in Jiangsheng, spoke with grace. Since everyone's here, A few more minutes won't matter. Let's check and make sure he loses with dignity. Ma Dong continued mocking from behind. If it weren't for Tang Xiao's face, I wouldn't give you this opportunity. The staff asked, Mr. Mu Yin, has your recent fund flow exceeded 50 million? He had just acquired Fuda and spent millions a few days ago. In that case, there's no mistake, sir. Large transactions may cause freezing of the account, but as long as the funds are legal, the freeze can be lifted and your service will be upgraded. Ma Dong and Fang Yuxue were frozen in shock. How is this possible? This can't be true. Mu Yin then asked, so how do we resolve this situation? Can I still transfer money? Ma Dong yelled, you guys must be here as part of Kong Li's scheme, right? How could someone like him have 50 million in funds? The bank staff handed Ma Dong a business card. Here's my card with my contact information. You can call for confirmation. Turning back to Mu Yin, the staff continued, sir, your bank card can now be used again. Feel free to visit the bank later to apply for your custom gold card. Ma Dong, with a twisted expression, shouted, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. Unless he transfers the money to Xingyun now. He still loses. Mu Yin sneered. You really don't know when to give up, do you? Ding. Transaction successful. Ma Dong, what else do you have to say now? At this point, Ma Dong felt something was wrong and took a few steps back, trembling as he spoke. You just can't stand me. You teamed up against me. It must be you cheating. Tang Ning, seeing Ma Dong trying to run, kicked him straight in the knee. Ma Dong cried out in pain. Tang Xiao, what are you doing? You can't accept defeat? Who was it that said, those who don't admit their mistakes are no better than animals? Who called others a fake rich kid? Ma Dong slapped himself while saying, I was blind. I didn't recognize who you were. I shouldn't have made you angry. Please forgive me. I was wrong. Mu Yin looked down at Ma Dong. Is that all? Did you forget something? What about the truth of Fuda? Or are you planning to let Kong Li take the blame forever? With no other choice, Ma Dong said, Fuda has already been acquired. Everything I said before was because I was jealous of Kong Li and upset with him. The hate in Ma Dong's eyes grew stronger. Mu Yin, I remember you now. You wait. One day, I will make you regret this. Zhang Penyue was thrilled. Mr. Mu, thank you for investing in our Xingyun group. We will never disappoint you. Fang Yuxue, watching Mu Yin and his group talking and laughing, couldn't help but think, has Mu Yin really made it big? But if it weren't for him, how did I end up here today? If he hadn't rejected our family's demands, I wouldn't have followed my parents' and brother's advice and ended up accompanying this old man Ma Dong. Why does my brother not have money to get married, and yet I have to sell myself out? System prompt. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Reward of 10 survival points. Additional reward of 1 point. Given the host good performance, from now on, 10% of the survival points the host earns will be extracted by the system for upgrades. At this moment, Li Biao interrupted. Mr. Mu, Mr. Kong, it's bad. The workers at the company are causing trouble again. Kong Li, unsure of what to do, could only ask Mu Yin. Mu Yin thought for a moment and decisively said, let's go back to the company and check the situation. The Fuda building was once again surrounded by construction workers, with 2 thugs claiming to be Wuji Tianzuan of Victory Road blocking the entrance. The workers at the front were getting more and more excited. The wages were paid, but the project stopped just like that. What are we supposed to do now? Doesn't this mean we're unemployed? They pushed the yellow-haired thug to the ground. The yellow-haired thug, instantly furious, pulled out a knife and lunged at the worker who had struck him, yelling at the workers, You've already got your money, and you're still causing trouble? You'll learn a lesson if I don't teach you one. Come on, anyone else who wants to be hit, come at me. In that moment, the yellow-haired thug felt every pore in his body expand, his blood swirling like shooting stars, his body feeling like it was possessed by God. Come on, I want to see who dares. But in the next moment, he was quickly subdued by Li Biao and forced to kneel before Mu Yin, still unwilling, muttering, I was doing this for the company, Brother Biao. How could you do this? Mu Yin looked coldly at the thug. For the company? The thug, seeing it was Mu Yin, sneered. It's you? Little guy, couldn't get the money to please Kong Li, huh? Kong Li, confused, asked. Mu Yin, what's going on? Li Biao, standing nearby, kicked the thug and yelled, "Stop acting like a clown." At this point, the thug no longer had the arrogance he showed earlier and mournfully said, "This kid's owes 500,000 in loan shark debt, and he said he could pay it back by tomorrow. If he can't, his sister's really pretty, so selling her to the black market would still be worth 100 to 180,000, right?" Hearing this, Kong Li shouted, "Do you think my company is a mafia? Are you trying to get me killed?" Turning to Mu Yin, he said, "Mu Yin, you know the company's situation. Ma Dong said he had a way to get money, so I went along with it. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." Ma Dong again. Upon hearing the name, Mu Yin stepped forward and kicked the thug. Why follow Ma Dong, of all people? The sound of an ambulance came from afar. Two doctors, leading the way with a stretcher, rushed over. "Make way. He's still alive. Please don't block the road." Mu Yin addressed the workers. "I'm now the boss of Fuda, and your wages are paid by me, so don't worry. The company will sign contracts with you, ensuring wages are paid and your safety is protected. There will also be year-end bonuses. Without you, there is no Fuda, so you could trust us. The injured worker will be covered under workers' compensation, and wages will continue to be paid during their hospitalization. For future contracts, please see Kong Li. I, Mu Yin, will ensure your rights." After settling things with the workers, Mu Yin turned to Kong Li. "I'll leave the rest to you. No more mistakes allowed. I'll head back now." Back home, Mu Yin looked at the obedient Meng Yao and couldn't help but pat her head. "I'll take you somewhere tomorrow, but for now it's late, time to rest." Lying in bed, Mu Yin suddenly received a system prompt. Is the host prepared for the inheritance? The host's rebirth has triggered the collapse of time and space. The survival points the host consumes daily are used to maintain the stability of time and space. But due to external forces, the host must accept the main god's inheritance, or the world will collapse soon. The inheritance ritual is complete. Please check your personal panel. Due to insufficient basic attributes, the host is temporarily unable to receive the full inheritance abilities. Meng Yao stood outside the door holding fruit. It's already noon. Is Mu Yin still not up? At that moment, the door to Mu Yin's room opened. Seeing Mu Yin finally come out, Meng Yao pouted and said, "Mu Yin, brother, didn't you say you were going to take me somewhere today? Look, it's already noon." Looking at the still angry Meng Yao, Mu Yin smiled and said, "Our Meng Yao is really cute when she gets mad. All right, don't be angry, we'll head out soon." "Mom, I'm home." Fong Yushua dragged her tired body inside and shouted. Fong's mother eagerly approached and asked, "Xiao Shui, how did it go with Ma Dong? It's so late. Didn't anything happen?" "Mom, it didn't work out with Ma Dong." Fong Yushua cried as she spoke. "I spent the whole night drinking with Ma Dong. He put drugs in my drink, then took me to a hotel, almost. It was Mu Yin who saved me." When Fong's father heard Mu Yin's name, he shouted, "It's him again. Even after breaking up, he's still causing trouble. What does he want?" "Dad, Mu Yin seems different now. He invested 15 million at the investment meeting, and I heard he even bought a real estate company." Hearing this, Fong's mother spun around excitedly. "Looks like he really has made it. We can't let such a good son-in-law get away." She grabbed Fong Yushua's arm. "Silly girl, you can still get back together with him. Go find him, reconcile, and bring him back, do you hear me?" The scene then shifted to Fong Yushua's brother, who was happily playing a game. One of the thugs nearby said, "Bro, you're playing so well. How about a bet? The loser buys cigarettes for everyone, and the winner gets called dad. Who dare to bet?" Fong Yu, a waste of life who eats and waits to die, couldn't handle such provocation. "All right, let's do it your way." He thought to himself, "Although I've never worked, I play games all day. How can this person be better than me?" 10 minutes later, the score reached 320. Of course, the 3 was Fong Yu's. Fong Yu, used to cheating, immediately stood up to leave, but was stopped as he tried to walk. The leading thug quickly called out, "Trying to run? Stop him." The scene shifted, and Mu Yin stared at his phone in disbelief. Why is it Fong Yushua again? But on the other end of the line, Fong's mother's fawning voice came through. "Hey, Mu Yin, I need to talk to you." Hearing this voice, Mu Yin felt a great sense of helplessness. What scheme are they trying this time? He impatiently spoke. "What is it?" "Mu Yin, haven't you always wanted to marry our Xiao Shui?" It's not impossible, but our family has two conditions. First, you must hand over all your bank cards to me. Once you're married, having money is useless. Then, once you step into our Fong family's door, you are a part of the Fong family, and you must help anyone in our family without question, no excuses. Mu Yin couldn't help but laugh more and more. He had clearly underestimated this family's shamelessness. I have one thing to say. Get the hell out. After taking Meng Yao to finish the house purchase procedure, the two of them walked on the street. But on the other side, a person was looking around as if searching for someone. It was Fong Yushue. Fong Yushue said with surprise, Mu Yin, you're really here? Mu Yin sighed. Your family just can't stay away from me. Come on, what do you want now? I made myself clear. Why is your family still so persistent? My brother Fong Yu hit someone at the internet cafe, and now the other party wants 500,000 to release him. Mu Yin sneered. Fong Yushue, are you sick? Your useless brother caused trouble. What does that have to do with me? He grabbed Meng Yao's hand and was about to leave. But Fong Yushue still wouldn't give up. Mu Yin, we could go to a hotel. You've always wanted to get closer to me, right? I'm agreeing now. Mu Yin finally lost his patience and pulled his hand away from hers. The person I like is the respectful and principled Fong Yushue, not the one who would sell herself for money like this. But Fong Yushue started crying. I didn't want it to be like this. Our family really can't come up with that much money. I had no choice. Mu Yin held back his anger, gritting his teeth. Fine, I'll help you. But I have one condition. Never bring up your family's problems to me again. If not, forget it. Mu Yin, are you really not going to help? You weren't like this before. Don't you think our years of relationship can't just be ignored? Forget it, Meng Yao. You go back home first. I'm going to the internet cafe. Truly, if I don't play the fool, who will? At the internet cafe, Fong Yu was being beaten by a few thugs and begging for mercy. Outside the internet cafe, Mu Yin arrived. Looking at the punks blocking the door, he went up and threw a punch. Then, he saw Fong Yu cornered. He thought to himself, since I'm here, I'll just take the strength pills from the system and deal with them all at once. The moment he swallowed the pill, Mu Yin felt his strength double, if not more. He clenched his fists, feeling the surge of power, and dealing with these thugs was definitely no problem. Fong Yu looked at Mu Yin, still dazed, and sneered. Mu Yin, you must have been sent by my sister. Hurry up and get the money. Stop acting all cool over there. Can't you see my face is purple? Don't stand here looking like a fool. No wonder my whole family hates you. Why are you so slow at everything? Hurry up and get the money. Mu Yin ignored Fong Yu's words, staring at the thugs in front of him, thinking how it seemed fate had really brought them together. He opened his fingers and directly pressed one thug's face, watching the thug fly through the air like a toy. Fong Yu watched in disbelief as Mu Yin easily took down the thug and couldn't help but laugh. So he's this strong now. Guess we don't need to pay the ransom. That 500,000 is mine now. He stood up and cursed. If you're this strong, why didn't you do it earlier? Why make me suffer here for so long? If my mom finds out, you're dead. If you don't want my family to come after you, kneel and apologize immediately and hand over the ransom. Mu Yin gave Fong Yu a sideways glance, thinking to himself how foolish one must be to say such things. Kneel and apologize to you and give you the ransom. Yes, or I'll have my sister find another man. Before Fong Yu could finish, Mu Yin slapped him across the face. Am I giving you face? Mu Yin coldly said, if you don't want to go home, just say it. If your sister didn't beg me, do you think I'd bother with your mess? Just as he was about to leave, Mu Yin noticed the doorway was crowded with people, and at the front was Ma Dong. Behind him, all his underlings were armed. Ma Dong arrogantly spoke, brothers, grab your weapons and beat him to death. Looks like this kid is hooked the moment he touched the Fong family. Mu Yin looked at the crowd, each holding weapons, thinking to himself, there are too many of them. If I can't avoid it, I might get beaten to death here. System, give me a new weapon. After swallowing the pill, Mu Yin felt his body grow stronger, and he narrowly dodged a strike without a scratch. Ma Dong, seeing him dodge, arrogantly said, Mu Yin, aren't you tough? Why don't you fight back now? A clown like you dares to go against me, Ma Dong? You must be asking for death. Mu Yin, now adapted to his enhanced body, looked at Ma Dong and thought, looks like Ma Dong is getting too cocky too soon. He sneered and said, look behind me. Mu Yin mimicked Ma Dong's earlier move and kicked him to the ground, then stepped on Ma Dong's face. Look at me, you little brat. I think I heard you say you wanted to kill me. Ma Dong, because you wasted my time, tell me, how will you compensate? Ma Dong gasped. I'll pay 20 million. 20 million, please stop hitting me. The banks next door transfer the 3 million from last time along with this 20 million now. Your account has received a transfer of 50 million. Since the money's in, Ma Dong, you can leave now. Mu Yin looked at Fang Yu, still following him, and disdainfully said, can't you go home on your own? Fang Yu snorted. Mu Yin, I'll remember you. If you hadn't deliberately provoked those guys, I wouldn't have suffered. I'll remember every bit of pain I've endured today. Mu Yin looked at this heartless fool and scolded. You really know how to turn right and wrong upside down, go on, trash. Meanwhile, at the Fang family, Fang's mother angrily scolded Fang Yushua. What good are you? You can't even handle Mu Yin. Are you going to watch your brother get beaten to death at the internet cafe? At that moment, Fang's mother seemed to forget that Fang Yushua was also her daughter, but her son's sudden return made her shift her focus back to him. Oh, my baby son, why did you come back so suddenly? Fang's mother looked at Fang Yu, frowning, and asked, what happened to your face? Who beat you like this? Fang Yu pointed at Fang Yushua, angrily cursing. Isn't it because of this useless Fang Yushua? She asked Mu Yin to come rescue me, but he's just here to embarrass me. Look at my face, can't you see? These were all Mu Yin's doing. The people who caught me didn't hit me as hard as he did. He beat me up like this. Fang Yushua, hearing her brother's words, asked in surprise, what did you say? Mu Yin came to save you. Fang Yu continued, and you know where he got his money from? It's all extorted from Ma Dong. Fang's mother turned to Fang Yushua and asked, Xiao Shua, is what Fang Yu said true? Fang Yushua nodded, saying, I think so. Last night, when Mu Yin came to save me, I vaguely heard him ask Ma Dong for 30 million. Fang's mother sneered. This is the man you had your eyes on? Used you to make money, then turned his back on you? He's worse than an animal. Believing her mother's words, Fang Yushua said, I'll go ask him right now. So this is the real reason Mu Yin and I were together. The two of them, who had been eating, suddenly stopped with their chopsticks. As soon as Fang Yushua entered, she shouted at Mu Yin, what's the meaning of this? You beat up Fang Yu like that, and now you're here, cozying up to another woman. What are you trying to do? Mu Yin looked at the angry Fang Yushua and smiled, saying, is that what Fang Yu said about me? Meng Yao is my sister. You should know that. Why are you freaking out? Sister? Good one. Then if you really want to save Fang Yu, why did you beat him like that? Is it because I dumped you, so you're getting back at my brother and found a woman who's worse than me to make me jealous? Hearing her words, Mu Yan's face instantly darkened, and he said coldly, Fang Yushua, are you out of your mind? You couldn't bear to spend money to save Fang Yu. Huh? Because that money was extorted. You don't even have money. Mu Yin then sneered. I told you, whether I'm poor or not, my money will never be used by your family's leeches. Fang Yushua, hearing Mu Yan's words, slammed the table and said, my family's leeches? You think you, Mu Yin, are some good person? You just broke up with me, and now you're with another woman? You're even more disgusting than I am. Mu Yin shouted, enough. So what if I'm with another woman? If you insist on listening to your brother's nonsense, fine, but from now on, don't come to me for anything related to you or your family. Fang Yushua looked at Mu Yan's cold face and slowly said, you've never considered me, have you? You've just been using me, Mu Yin helplessly replied. Can't you even tell right from wrong now? Mu Yin, explain yourself. Why are you treating me like this? What right do you have to treat me like this? Fang Yushua, already furious, raised her hand to strike. Mu Yin grabbed Fang Yushua's hand. Fang Yushua, don't push me. We've broken up. Stop acting like a mad woman. Seeing that Mu Yin had made up his mind, Fang Yushua gave up and angrily said, fine, Mu Yin, you said it. I'll make you regret it. Bastard. Scumbag. After Fang Yushua's outburst, Mu Yin lost his appetite. so he decided to head straight to Xingyun Group. Looking at the materials Zhang Pengwei handed over, Mu Yin said, "You did well. The project has started a profit. It's truly the project I've been eyeing, and you're exactly the person I had in mind." Finally, a good piece of news. After leaving Xingyun Group, Mu Yin couldn't help but think. If the Tang family could become a partner with Xingyun, it would be perfect, but would the Tang family agree to cooperate with Xingyun? However, his attention was diverted by a pair of people ahead. Isn't that the saleswoman, a Zhen, from the sales office? How come she's at the bar, and her hair is being pulled like a rope? Although a Zhen had once mocked him, seeing her sincere apology afterward, Mu Yin still walked over and grabbed the man's hand. In broad daylight, "You're doing this without any regard for others? Let go of my hand." The man, seeing how strong Mu Yin was, froze in place. "A woman chosen by Ma Dong. Is she someone you can even touch?" Upon hearing Ma Dong, Mu Yin tightened his grip even further. "Ma Dong again? Ma Dong calls me old father whenever he sees me. Were you? Get lost and don't let me see you again." Mu Yin turned to a Zhen and asked, "Aren't you working at the sales office? Why are you at the bar?" A Zhen hurriedly replied, "Thank you, Mr. Mu. I'm on leave today, but my father's condition worsened and he needs money for surgery, so I came to do a second job in my spare time." Mu Yin, hearing a Zhen's words, was surprised to find she was a kind and diligent girl, then asked, "By the way, do you know Ma Dong?" A Zhen froze for a moment, clearly panicked, and said, "I don't know him well. The first time he saw me here, he wanted to keep me, but I refused. Since then, he's been making trouble for me. If it wasn't for you today." Mu Yin, noticing a Zhen's hesitation, immediately took out his phone and called Li Biao. "Li Biao, send someone to keep an eye on Ma Dong. He should be at the hospital now." Meanwhile, at the hospital, Ma Dong said ominously, "Miss Fong, I've arranged everything at the bar, just as you requested. Now, shouldn't you move a little closer?" Fong Yushue, focused only on how to get back at Mu Yin, said, "Ma Dong, why are you in such a hurry?" Mu Yin just took the bait. "The real show hasn't even started yet. Miss Fong, I've listened to you, but what if the bar plan fails? What if Mu Yin comes after me? I'll lose more than I gain." Fong Yushue, hearing Ma Dong's weak response, became angry. "Ma Dong, don't forget, I'm the one helping you get revenge. And Mu Yin has deep feelings for me. If I apologize, he'll definitely soften up." She then took out her phone and called Mu Yin, using a tone she had never used before. "Mu Yin, it's me. I'd like to invite you to dinner. I was wrong at the restaurant today. I want to apologize properly, and it can be our final parting. Can we meet at the restaurant where we had our first date?" After hanging up, Fong Yushua looked at Ma Dong. "So, Ma Dong, I've taken care of my side. You can handle Zhen's side. After everything's done, I want 30 million, and you'll get what you need. Let's have a good cooperation, Ma Dong." Mu Yin, listening to the report from Li Biao on the phone, realized these two were planning to scheme against him. "Fine, I'll play along with your little act and see what you two really want to do." Arriving at the restaurant, Mu Yin saw Fong Yushue acting unusually enthusiastic today and couldn't help but feel a pang in his heart. So it's only when she's trying to get back at him that she acts so proactive? "Host, it has been detected that there is sleeping powder in the wine, but the amount won't pose a threat to the host." It seemed Fong Yushue was determined to take action against him. Since that's the case, let the past be the past. Watching Fong Yushue drink the wine, she finally spoke with satisfaction. "I didn't expect us to end up like this. I once imagined what our life would be like after marriage." Mu Yin, hearing her words, scoffed. "Marriage? I should be your family's cash cow. Your brother has been asking me for money, draining me dry, then forcing me to die. Am I wrong?" Fong Yushue grew embarrassed and replied, "But he's my only brother. Shouldn't I spoil him?" Mu Yin immediately interrupted her. "Does your family have a throne he's supposed to inherit?" Fong Yushue argued back, "He's my only brother. Shouldn't I cherish him?" Hearing Fong Yushue's unreasonable words, Mu Yin pretended the drug was taking effect, slumping onto the table. Seeing him finally pass out, Fong Yushue was excited. "Humph, I thought you were so tough. Everything you got from Ma Dong today will be mine tomorrow." Inside the hotel, pretending to be affected by the drug, Muyin suddenly woke up. Damn, how did I fall asleep? Before he could recover, a slap landed on his face. Muyin, you bastard. How could you do such a thing? It was you who texted me last night to come. I thought you just needed something, but I didn't expect you to do something so beastly. I thought you were a good person, but you've gone too far. A jeune, crying, walked out the door. Muyin watched their poor acting and thought, want to play with me? Fine, I'll play along and give you a good show. A jeune arrived at the cafe, as agreed. Mr. Ma, Miss Fong, I'm here. Everything's done as you requested. I've taken the pictures. They're on my phone. Fong Yushue, feeling like she had gotten her revenge, said, Good. You can go now. I'll contact you when I need you. But you better keep those photos safe. If the photos disappear and something goes wrong, your father will be waiting to die in the hospital. Hearing Fong Yushue's words, a jeune furrowed her brow. Don't worry, I'll keep the photos safe. Ma Dong grinned wickedly. Miss Fong, your resolve is impressive. You managed to push things this far. I admire you even more. How about we have dinner tonight? Fong Yushue sneered. Muyin was heartless first. What I did was just take back what should have belonged to me. But if you want to buy things and eat with me, you'd better handle things properly first. Ma Dong chimed in. If it's Miss Fong, the 30 million is worth it. I'm Ma Dong, have no complaints. Fong Yushue coldly said. Since that's the case, Ma Dong, let's go. Today, Muyin will pay for his actions. Muyin, wait for it. I'll make you feel what it's like to be used. What do you two want by calling me here? Muyin coldly asked. Ma Dong chuckled. Muyin, you should know what you've done. We're here to seek justice. Muyin looked at the pair of them and said, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I haven't done anything. Don't go making false accusations. Hearing Muyin's words, Fong Yushue became agitated. Muyin, you bastard. Last night you were eating dinner with me, and then you turned around and went to the bar with another woman. Ma Dong echoed. I heard the other woman was just forced. The police have already been called. If you beg me, I might still be able to save you. See? Even the reporters are here. If this goes public, your life is over. Muyin's face instantly darkened, and he coldly said, Do you two think I'm an idiot? Look at who the reporters are taking pictures of. Then listen to what a jeune has to say. On the other end of the phone, jeune said, Muyin, I've already uploaded the report about Ma Dong and Fong Yushue threatening me to the internet. Ma Dong, startled, dropped his cigar in shock. At that moment, Ma Dong's neck was drenched in sweat, feeling an all too familiar unease. Why does this feel so familiar? What's going on? The reporters didn't miss the opportunity for such a juicy story, immediately squeezing over to ask, is it true that Ma Dong, the boss of Longting Real Estate, used his power to bully several women? And Mr. Ma, is it true that your company is in financial trouble and owes a huge amount of debt? Miss Fong, are you in a romantic relationship with Mr. Ma? Muyin stood silently, watching as the two of them were left speechless by the reporter's questions. 5 hours ago, a jeune had told Muyin, Mr. Mu, Ma Dong promised me 500,000 to frame you, or he would kill my father, and the meeting at the bar this afternoon was also arranged by them. Now, I have enough evidence to make sure Ma Dong spends the rest of his life in prison. Will you help me? Or help him? Mr. Mu, I'll definitely help you. If it weren't for you speaking up for me last time, I would have lost my job. Now, since Ma Dong was going to spend the rest of his life in prison, Muyin knew it was time for him to take over his company. Fong Yushue looked at Muyin's triumphant expression and became so furious she nearly lost control. Muyin, you're ruthless. But she didn't notice the dark aura forming on her forehead. 2 days later, the news showed Ma Dong, boss of Longting Real Estate, has been found guilty of embezzlement and money laundering. The amount is enormous. Longting Real Estate was liquidated yesterday and declared bankrupt. Miss Fong, are you participating voluntarily? Meng Yao, surprised by the news, thought to herself, I always thought Fong Yushue was deceived, but I didn't expect she would do something like this. No wonder Mu Yin doesn't like her anymore. Mu Yin lay in bed looking at the system. Didn't I take over Longting Real Estate yesterday? Why haven't I received my survival points yet? This system is always delaying my survival points. and there's no response. System upgrade complete. With a flash of white light, a tiny pink rabbit hopped out. Staring at the delicate little creature, Mu Yan frowned. This is the upgraded entity? He picked it up with disgust. Seriously? This thing? Where's the beauty I asked for? The rabbit twitched its ears angrily and vanished on the spot. Suddenly, a slender jade-like hand reached for him, accompanied by a playful voice. "Oh my host, why so impatient? The rabbit is just my true form. Why despise me?" A woman in ancient robes, adorned with rabbit-themed ornaments, appeared right on top of him. Immortal aura swirled around her, and her posture was dangerously suggestive, as if she intended to push him down. She teased, "So, are you satisfied with this look now? If you are, don't forget to leave me a 5-star review in the system." At that exact moment, Meng Yao burst angrily through the door. "Brother Mu Yan, I didn't expect Sister Yushua to be that kind of woman. I thought it was all just a misunderstanding between you two." She froze at the sight before her and screamed. I'm so sorry." Mu Yan shot the system a glare. "Get off me." The system pouted. "Host, you're so mean. Just now you called me sweetie, and now you're scolding me." Luckily, Meng Yao only fainted from the shock. The system quickly stepped in to heal her, sensing Mu Yan's anger. Okay, she'll be fine in a moment." Meng Yao stirred, her voice weak. Who are you?" The system introduced herself cheerfully. "I'm your brother Mu Yan system. You can call me Xiaoya. Nice to meet you." Meng Yao blinked in confusion. This has to be a dream. It must be. Meanwhile, back at the Fong household, Fong's mother beamed as she spoke to Fong Yushua. "Xiaoxue, you worked so hard these past few days, but finally, we've gathered enough dowry money for Fong Yu's wedding." Fong Yu, still glued to his video game, scoffed. "So what? We only made about $1 million while the reporters were around. What happens when they lose interest? Then what?" Fong's father chimed in, frowning. "Exactly. And you, sending Ma Dong to jail? You've ruined our family's golden goose." The family was filled with frustration, none of them noticing how Fong Yushua's expression twisted from confusion into malice. She whispered, "I hate this. Why must I be the one to marry rich? Why must everything always be my fault?" Suddenly, a chilling voice echoed in her mind. "Little girl, would you like to make a deal? I am a god. I heard your plea. I can grant your wish. I know you won't believe me right away. That's why I offer you a transaction. Your ex-boyfriend used you, betrayed you, and you gained nothing. Back home, your family scolds you. Don't you feel anger? Hatred? Come, sign a contract with me. Complete my tasks, and you will obtain everything you desire." Darkness crept across Fong Yushua's face. I want endless money." Fong Yu, still acting like a spoiled brat, shouted from his chair, "Why aren't you saying anything? I'm asking you, what's the plan for our family now?" Fong Yu flinched under Fong Yushua's ghostly glare, but remembering his mother was backing him up, he puffed up again. "Staring at me won't change anything. If it wasn't for you being so useless, would our family be like this?" Fong's mother quickly stepped in, playing the emotional card. "All right, Xiaoxue, your brother is still young. Don't be mad at him. Think carefully about what I said earlier, okay?" Fong Yushua sneered, her tone dripping with bitterness. "Fine. Didn't you collect plenty of rich men's information? Give them all to me. For this family, I'll do what needs to be done." Fong's mother froze. Then her face lit up with delight. "Xiaoxue, you finally came around?" Meanwhile, at Mu Yan's house, he spent half an hour explaining. "Meng Yao, did you get it now? That's basically how things are." Meng Yao still looked doubtful. "So, time travel is really possible." Xiaoya, the system, wagged her finger playfully. "But traveling through time comes with a price, you know. Your brother Mu Yan is basically a wage slave for the timeline now. Tons of pressure." Mu Yan stood up. "Meng Yao, Xiaoya, I need to head out. You two get to know each other." Both girls asked in unison, "You're going out?" "Relax. I just have an appointment with young Master Tang to look at cars." Xiaoya suddenly leaned over and planted a kiss on Meng Yao's face. Meng Yao fainted on the spot. Mu Yan grabbed Xiaoya's wrist, furious. "What did you do to her?" Xiaoya looked pitiful. "I only altered a bit of her memory. Ordinary people knowing too much puts them in danger. Why are you being so fierce with me?" Then, like flipping a switch, she beamed. Didn't you say you're going car shopping? Take me with you. I want to go too. If you don't bring me, I'll just auto-teleport to you. You don't want that, do you? Muyin imagined the awkward scene and sighed in defeat. Fine, you win. You're coming. On the street, he noticed Xiaoya looking distracted. What's wrong? You've been frowning since we left. Something bothering you? She giggled and poked his chest. Nothing. Just thinking how to improve your performance. Maybe some supplements. Supplements? For what? No need. It's just dealing with ordinary people. Who even fights like that anymore? The two stepped into the dealership. Tang Ning walked up with another man, smiling. Sorry, Mr. Mu. I was held up a bit. But the man beside Tang Ning looked Mu Yin up and down with disdain. So this is the best Jiangsheng has to offer. Mu Yin instantly recognized him. Lu Zhe of Wangjiang City. In his past life, the Lu family got rich selling counterfeit liquor. But he kept a straight face and asked Tang Ning, Young Master Tang, this is... Tang Ning coolly pushed away Lu Zhe's arm and introduced. This is Lu Zhe from Wangjiang. Mu Yin smiled slyly, stepping forward. Ah, Lu Zhe. Forgive me. I thought you were Tang Ning's driver when I saw you walking together. Lu Zhe sneered. Humph, a bumpkin like you doesn't know any better. I won't hold it against you. Xiaoya narrowed her eyes, noticing something wrong during their handshake. He's draining your fortune energy, she hissed. She immediately pulled Mu Yan's hand away. Mu Yan, didn't you promise to take me to a movie? Why are we still here car shopping? Mu Yan chuckled, scratching his head. Right, I almost forgot. Young Master Tang, want to come along? Lu Zhe's face darkened. What? You dare turn your back on me? You Jiangqing people have no manners. If I want the Tang family erased, it'll be gone overnight. Mu Yan, refusing to back down, patted Lu Zhe on the shoulder. Jiangsheng isn't yours to command. And if the ingredients behind your family's counterfeit liquor get exposed, what do you think happens to the Lu clan? Lu Zhe's single eye bulged. How do you know that? Mu Yan replied coolly. No deed stays hidden forever. Lu Zhe hissed. Fine, Mu Yan. I'll make you regret ever stepping into this world. Vanish without a trace. That night, after wrapping up, Xiaoya spoke gravely beside the car. Host, there's something you must know. The seeds have infiltrated this world. Mu Yan stiffened. Seeds? They come from other timelines, Xiaoya explained. They parasitize humans, grant abilities, and incubate. Those powers resemble the two you have. Realizing the stakes, Mu Yan pressed, what happens when they hatch? A temporal lord emerges, Xiaoya said, face hard. Then this world becomes a living hell. Lu Zhe's already seated. He siphoned your fortune energy during the handshake. Expect a streak of bad luck. Suddenly the doorbell rang. His father called. Your mother and I are home, and we have guests. When are you coming back? I just got off work, Mu Yan replied. I'll head back now. Soon, they pulled up downstairs. He brought in Xiaoya in rabbit form. His father blinked. Why'd you bring a rabbit? Thankfully, she could shape shift. He covered with a quick lie about finding a cute stray. The moment they entered, the rabbit was snatched by a bratty cousin. Same nuisance as in the previous life. Mu Yan thought to himself, same people, just months earlier this time. His uncle wore a polished smile. Mu Yan, long time no see. Looking sharp, he added casually, quite successful now, huh? So you drive in with a luxury car. After the small talk, the second uncle turned to Mu Yan's father. There's one more thing. Good news, actually. A solid investment. I'm telling you because we're family. Mu Yan's father waved it off. You know our situation. We haven't even set aside Mu Yan's bride price. Where we get money to invest. The second uncle pressed on. Relax. Put in 100K and make 150K in a month. No risk. We tested it. Add a bit more and the bride price is done. Though skeptical, the father thought, he's my kid brother. He wouldn't scam me. He whispered to his wife. Maybe we try 20K first? Seeing the wavering, the second uncle piled on. 30 grand at least. Didn't you win $500,000? Put more. I'll guarantee it doubles. He nudged Mu Yan. Talk to your parents, will you? I work hard to land this. Mu Yan said flatly. You want me to persuade them? Here's my advice, drop it. We're not investing. Please leave. The second uncle exploded. Weren't we fine a minute ago? What's with you? He snapped. Kid, I bring you a moneymaker. Don't join? Fine, but kicking family out. Mu Yan's father, not wanting a rift with his brother, quickly calmed him. Brother, don't say that. Since we agreed to invest, we'll do it. Rest assured. Mu Yan glanced at his father, who still clung to family ties. Once that money's gone, it won't come back. Do you really think a relative who ignored us for over a decade suddenly brings fortune to our doorstep? You claim it's foolproof. Then name the company, the project code. If you can't, take your daughter and get out of this house. What's wrong? Afraid to answer. Fine, I'll help. Your son crossed a street thug's girlfriend. They want 300K to settle it, or he dies. Am I wrong? His uncle went pale. How could you possibly know that? Just then, the brat started wailing. Daddy, this rabbit bullied me. The uncle rushed over to comfort her. Piggy, are you okay? He snapped in rage. Dare to bully my daughter? I'll stew this rabbit, turn it into red braised meat. Mu Yin sneered inwardly. A failed con, and now they blame a rabbit? Pathetic. Humiliated, the uncle stormed off with his daughter, cursing. Bah, you'll die poor, forever hauling bricks. Mu Yin lifted his teacup, smirking. Take care, uncle. I won't see you off. His father slumped in disappointment. Never thought my own brother would be like this. His mother added, we really got old and almost fell for it. Mu Yin reassured them. There's no free lunch in this world. Let's just stay cautious. Meanwhile, at the Fong household, Fong Yushua's demeanor had changed, calm and confident. Mom, 300K has been wired to your account. Fong's mother beamed. Today, Fong Yu even bought a car with it. Haven't seen him this happy in years. But where did you get that money? Fong Yushue replied coolly, watching her mother's obsession with money. I met a young, wealthy boss. He owns 2 apartments in Blue Water Bay. He said we can move in rent-free. Her mother nearly leapt up. Is he one of the names I gave you? Finally, we're moving out of this dump. She grabbed her phone to call her husband. I have to tell your dad, our daughters finally made it. In her room, dark energy swirled again on Fong Yushue's forehead. The sinister voice whispered back. See, our deal is simple. Just stay closer to him. You needn't lift a finger. He'll hand you the money himself. So, shall we continue? Fong Yushue answered coldly. Yes, my family needs money. If it costs me nothing, I'll go on. At Fuda Tower, Mu Yin reviewed the company's progress. A knock at the door. Kong Li entered. President Mu, the eastern lots have begun construction, but he stopped short. President Mu, and this lady is... Mu Yin replied calmly. Her? Xiaoya, my new secretary. What is it? Kong Li handed over a file. President Mu, someone's offering 100 million to acquire Ma Dong's company. Please review this. Mu Yin frowned at the file. Ma Dong's company sits right in downtown Jiangcheng. No one bid when it went to auction, and now someone's offering big money. He handed it back. Handle it. It's prime now, but in a few years it won't be. Better to cash out while it's hot. In his past life, the city center had shifted, dragging values down. Kong Li nodded. Yes, President Mu. Also, there's word from the black market. A major auction tonight. Would you like to attend? Mu Yin raised a brow. Auction? What kind? Mostly feng shui artifacts. Some lucrative ventures too. I lack the capital, but Piers swears some items there really work. Understood. Where's this black market? I'll take a look. They arrived at Taiha Street. Mu Yin scanned the rows. Looks no different from a commercial street. They host a black market here. An elderly man suddenly stopped them. Strangers, here for the auction? Mu Yin narrowed his eyes. How would you know? The old man chuckled. Every shop here hides an entrance. No one comes just to stroll. If you're headed there, I can guide you. He rubbed 2 fingers together. Of course for a price. Fair trade. Mu Yin smirked. Money was the least of his problems. Fine, lead the way. The old man explained smugly. The black market lies beneath the river junction of 3 cities. Gamblers, collectors, every shady type. You name it, it's here. Keep straight and you'll reach the auction. But it won't start till night. He held up 2 fingers again. 2,000 fee. Mu Yin sighed inwardly. Black market, indeed, black to the bone. Counting bills, the old man added. You seem straightforward. Try the gambling stones first. For the auction, hire an introducer. That's my tip. Farewell. Xiaoya's eyes darkened. Master, The seed's aura here is strong. Muyin dismissed it. Of course, the hunger for money breeds it. Nothing strange. Suddenly, shouts rang out. Stone gambler. Chosen yet. A nervous youth knelt over 2 raw stones, hands trembling. Same weight, same texture. Which one? Thugs jeered. Hurry up. One last chance. Fail again, and the Shao family loses everything. Pushing into the crowd, Muyin spotted 1 stone glowing faint red. A ruby? His backslash, wealth, eye skill pulsed. He could see treasure at a glance. The Shao heir finally grabbed the glowing stone, hands shaking. He's chosen. Place your bets. 10 to 1 odds. The crowd roared. 10 grand on the house odds. Of course he'll lose. He hasn't won in months. He'll bankrupt his clan. The rival sneered. Liu family stakes 20 grand. Anyone else? Zhao's face twisted. We only have 200 left. If I lose, father is finished. Muyin seized the chance. I'll stake 30. The thug laughed. If he loses, that's 300 you cover. Sure about this? Muyan's smirk deepened. Only 300? If the table were bigger, I'd put 3,000. Fine, let's see your stone's worth. The crowd surged to the stone-cutting booth. The cutter inspected. Mid-grade jadeite. Worth about 500. The rival chuckled. Good, cut it. 1 slice for riches, 1 for ruin. The blade sliced through. A beam of light, something inside. Looks like ruby. As the cut finished, the master gasped. Pigeon blood. It's pigeon blood ruby. The rival went pale. Impossible. Muyin scratched his head. What's that? Xiaoye explained calmly. The rarest ruby, deep crimson. Auction base price, at least 1 million. Xiao gasped. She's right. Even a shard of pigeon blood fetches a fortune. Muyin grinned. Guess I'll take this pocket change. Swipe card or paperwork. The thug growled. Fine, card it. Pretty boy, you've crossed me. Remember this. Muyin watched 300 roll in. With this skill, the black market's my gold mine. As they turned to leave, the Shao heir hurried over. Sir, my name's Xiao Cheng. If you're headed to the auction, allow me to guide you inside. Xiao Cheng caught Muyan's glance and quickly bowed. Forgive me. I forgot you're not a black market man. Perhaps, seeing me like this, you'd look down on me. Muyin clasped his hand firmly. Mr. Xiao, my name is Muyin. It's my first time here. If you don't mind, guide me to the auction. Xiao Cheng's eyes lit up. Of course, Mr. Mu. I was planning to auction that ruby tonight. Leave the arrangements to me. Muyin thought to himself. This man was called both Stone Gambling Master and Xiao Heir. His background was not simple. Best to make an ally. Inside the VIP hall, Xiao Cheng bowed again. Thank you, Mr. Mu, for trusting me. Muyin smiled. Relax. You don't strike me as a swindler. Xiao Cheng sighed. If not for this black card, I'd have no right to even step inside. Muyin tilted his head. Oh, why's that? Xiao Cheng explained. The auction respects only identity. There are just 3 black cards in the entire market, each held by one of the 3 major forces. With it, you can come and go as you please. The 3 powers are the auction house itself, a mysterious faction tied to higher authorities, and my Shao family, which has held influence for generations. But 2 years ago, the Liu family forced its way in. We helped them and raised a viper. They've been devouring us ever since. Xiaoye's ears perked. The Liu family? From Wangjiang City? Their young master is Liu Zhe. Xiao Cheng blinked. You know him? Muyin shook his head. Not exactly. Just one encounter and a bit of bad blood. Right then, a staff member approached. Young Master Xiao. The ruby is verified, top quality. Starting bid, 5 million. Shall I confirm? Xiao Cheng stood. No need. Reserve me a private box. On stage, the host unveiled a porcelain vase. A Ming Dynasty blue and white heirloom from a military household. Starting at 200,000. Xiao Cheng glanced at Mu Yan's calm face. Mr. Mu, you don't care for antiques? Mu Yan shook his head. I came for opportunity. If something valuable appears, I'll see. Xiao Cheng smiled faintly. Then apart from the antiques, my ruby will be the main spectacle tonight. A gavel struck. The vase closed at 3 million. Mu Yan's gaze sharpened. Black mist lingered over it. He sneered inwardly. Take that home? I call it cursed. Suddenly, the host's tone rose. Ladies and gentlemen, a special edition. Something unseen here for years. With a flourish, he revealed it. The blood-red ruby, known as pigeon's blood. Its core is pure, natural pigeon's blood. The outer ruby is high grade as well. Starting bid, 5 million. In the stands, Lu Zhe sat poised, eyes locked on the gem. The same stone Xiao Cheng had cut earlier. He scoffed. No matter. Grandfather loves it. This belongs to me. His voice thundered. 60 million. Muyan's head snapped up. Lu Zhe. Other bidders fell silent. Who dared cross young Master Lu? But Muyan smirked. 70 million. Xiao Cheng tugged his sleeve. Mr. Mu, you mustn't go against Lu Zhe. Xiaoya only chuckled. Relax. Just watch. Lu Zhe's lackey seethed. Boss, that's the punk who wagered 30 for Xiao earlier. Lu Zhe sneered. That penniless brat from Jiangshan? Here. His eyes gleamed cold. Interesting. Then I'll play with him. 80 million. Xiao Cheng saw Mu Yin still bidding and panicked. Lu Zhe is ruthless. He never stops until he gets what he wants. I doubt he ever planned to pay for that gem. Mu Yin only smirked. Relax. I'll make him cough up the money. Then he shouted, 1.8 billion. Do you dare follow? Lu Zhe snapped, furious. That pauper look of his. Where would he get that kind of money? The auctioneer didn't care, thrilled by the soaring price. 1.8 billion once. 1.8 billion twice. Lu Zhe roared, holding up 3 fingers. 3 billion. His lackey paled. Young master, we don't have that much on hand. Mu Yin sneered. So this is the great young Master Lu? I'll make it 4 billion. The two of them drove the numbers higher and higher. Sweat rolled down Xiao Cheng's forehead. The price had already exceeded the gem's worth. If it went on, the auction house might intervene. Lu Zhe bellowed. 12 billion. Dare to follow now. Mu Yin chuckled. Since young Master Lu is so wealthy, I'll yield this ruby to you. The gavel fell. 12 billion once. 12 billion twice. 12 billion sold. Lu Zhe's lackey froze. Young master, we can't pay that. Lu Zhe sneered. And when did I ever say I'd really pay? In the transaction hall, Lu Zhe shouted. Nonsense. I already transferred the money. Staff explained calmly. Sir, the transfer was 12 million, not 12 billion. If you refuse to pay, by rule, the Lu family will be expelled from the black market. Lu Zhe's face twisted. Why? It's always worked before, why not tonight? A black shadow loomed behind him, whispering. The man bidding against you is of higher rank. I was restricted, couldn't use my power, but his spirit is weak. Remove him, and the problem ends. Staff continued. Given the sum, you have 3 days to gather the funds. The ruby will remain reserved in the meantime. Lu Zhe exhaled in relief. Fine. My card glitched tonight. I'll return in a few days to claim it. Outside on Black Market Street, Xiao Cheng's eyes shone. Thank you, Mr. Mu. That was exhilarating. Mu Yin waved it off. How about history with Lu Zhe? Just a small favor. Xiao Cheng's face darkened. I fear he'll never pay. He often cheats, hands over scraps, then walks away with the goods. Mu Yin's gaze sharpened. Is that so? Xiao Cheng clenched his fists. Yes. He tricked everyone with illusions. That's how my Xiao family fell so far. Suddenly Lu Zhe appeared, voice dripping with malice. Good eye, young Master Xiao. Shame you're useless. He turned on Mu Yin. Didn't Tang Ming warn you? Opposing me means death. Xiao Cheng grabbed Mu Yan's arm. Mr. Mu, please retreat. Lu Zhe can really make you disappear. Mu Yin shoved him back gently. Step aside. Don't worry. Xiao Yu raised her hand, blocking Xiao Cheng. Mr. Xiao, let him handle this. In her senses, the seed's aura was weak, no real threat to her host. Lu Zhe ignored everything else and swung a fist straight at Mu Yin. You're the first fool to ever provoke me. Mu Yin sidestepped and countered with a punch of his own. His blow smashed into the black shadow behind Lu Zhe, twisting its form with a shriek. Mu Yin sneered. That shapeless smoke behind you, is that your backup? Looks terrified of me. Bruised but defiant, Lu Zhe snarled. When you're dead, everything you own will be mine. Don't get cocky, Mu Yin. Mu Yin stepped in, his fist slamming into Lu Zhe's body again. So weak, yet still barking? Who gave you that confidence? The shadow wailed. Kill him now. My power is draining. I can't hold on. Lu Zhe clutched his chest, horrified. Impossible. How can you devour a divine envoy? What are you? Mu Yin narrowed his eyes. Divine envoy? What's that supposed to be? Lu Zhe smirked darkly. Seems you don't know a thing. Summon your own envoy, and we'll talk. I can tell you all its secrets. Mu Yin cut him off with a vicious kick. You? Not qualified to bargain with me. The shadow nearly collapsed. We can't fight anymore. Let's retreat. He's already absorbed half my strength. At the same time, Xiaoyu felt her own energy fading, her form turning faintly transparent. The shadow wrapped around Lu Zhe, hissing. We underestimated you. Next time, I'll destroy your entire family. Xiao Cheng, who had never seen such horrors, trembled. What are those things? Mu Yin charged forward, throwing another punch to stop their escape. But his fist struck only empty air. Lu Zhe had vanished like he'd used some bizarre escape technique. Xiao Cheng rushed over. Mr. Mu, are you all right? Mu Yin's vision spun, his body drained of strength. Xiao Cheng held him up. Mr. Mu, let me take you to a hospital. Mu Yin shook his head. Just a scratch. Let's move. But Xiao Cheng hesitated. Mr. Mu, doesn't it feel like something's missing? Mu Yin looked down. Something tugged at his leg. Xiaoyu had reverted into her rabbit form. Mu Yin forced a smile. This is just my pet rabbit. I keep it with me all the time. Xiao Cheng cradled the rabbit, chuckling. No need to worry. I've seen strange things since childhood. I won't tell a soul. Then, solemnly, he said, if I can rebuild the Xiao family, I'd like you to be part of our sword register. Would you accept? Mu Yin shook his head. I'm just a businessman. I won't be coming to the black market often. Xiao Cheng nodded. It's your choice. But to thank you, I'll send you a great gift soon. Mu Yin handed him a card. Keep in touch then. He thought to himself that Xiao Cheng seemed decent, an ally worth having if the Xiao family rose again. Xiao Cheng beamed. Thank you, Mr. Mu. Follow this alley back out, and you'll return to Jiangcheng. Safe travels. Mu Yin eyed the rabbit Xiaoyu again. Is this tied to the power I unleashed earlier? System explain. A system screen flickered, unable to connect with divine energy. System in recovery. Mu Yin frowned, lifting the rabbit. Didn't you talk before? Explain this. But the rabbit was silent. He sighed, setting it on his shoulder. Forget it. Let's head home. 3 days passed. The moon rabbit showed no signs of recovery, and the system remained frozen in an update. Mu Yin muttered, at least let's check the harvest. By the exchange rules, plus the 3 million earned from stone gambling, he had 12 survival points left. Just then his phone rang. It was Meng Yao. In Blue Water Bay, she spun around him with joy. Brother Mu Yin, you bought this house? And you didn't even come see it. He chuckled. It's just a house. As long as you're comfortable living here, that's enough. Her eyes sparkled. If I could buy a villa someday, I'd gift you one. That way, we'd still be neighbors. By coincidence, Fang Yushue was also there, watching the scene unfold. Mu Yin noticed dark aura curling around them both and frowned. Why are you here? The man beside Fang Yushue, Su Fei, sneered. Isn't this Mu Yin? Wasn't Miss Fang your ex? You gave up such a fine woman for some little college girl? Mu Yin saw the two, clearly looking for trouble, and pulled Meng Yao away. I won't waste words on people like you. Pointless nonsense. Su Fei, angered by being ignored, shouted. Mu Yin, what are you so smug about? I bought Ma Dong's company from you. What do you have to brag about? Mu Yan sneered. So you're the idiot who bought Ma Dong's company? Fine, keep that curse mess. Just don't cry when it ruins you. Meng Yao looked at him in surprise. Brother Mu Yin, you actually own a company? He nodded. Won a prize not long ago, bought a company. I wanted to wait until things stabilized before telling you. Meng Yao thought for a moment, her voice soft. So the senior really just cared about your money. I thought it was only because you two argued. Mu Yin gently patted her shoulder. Doesn't matter. Next time, just walk away. People like them never mean well. Inwardly, he frowned. Su Fei carried a faint aura of death, and even Fang Yushue showed signs of that strange seed's energy. This was dangerous. He'd have to keep his distance. Suddenly, Meng Yao pulled 2 tickets from her bag. Brother Mu Yin, I won these amusement park tickets in an event 2 days ago. Today's the last day. Want to go together? Mu Yin paused. An amusement park? He had never gone with her before. It could be a good chance to relax. He smiled and agreed. All right, at the amusement park, Meng Yao held up the map and eagerly planned. We can start with the roller coaster, then the flying chairs, and after that the giant swing, bumper cars, and the pirate ship. Mu Yin listened with a sigh. This girl really had a thing for the most thrilling rides. While they were talking, a person in a bear costume walked over and handed them a flyer. Meng Yao's eyes lit up. Mu Yin, look, there's an air rifle contest here. If you hit 10 out of 10 bullseyes, you can win a limited edition panda plushie. Seeing her interest, Mu Yin pointed ahead. Want to give it a try? The booth is just up there. Off to the side, the person in the bear suit pulled off the heavy mascot head and gulped down water. In the blazing heat, wearing that thick costume was torture, yet the girl's eyes still showed no hint of backing down. She muttered under her breath, still so many flyers left. I'll never finish today's quota. She recalled her boss's warning. If you don't want to be harassed, you'd better hand them all out within the week. A trace of bitterness flickered across her face. Meanwhile, thanks to his enhanced body, Mu Yin smirked. So now I'm at the level where even shooting targets is 10 for 10, huh? The staff member was stunned as he handed over the prize. This is pro athlete level accuracy. Seriously impressive. But maybe don't come back next time. Mu Yin looked at Meng Yao hugging the panda plush, swaying happily side to side. You like it that much? Meng Yao beamed and nodded. Thank you, Mu Yin. I really love it. Suddenly, an angry voice cut through. Get lost. I haven't finished my work yet. I can still do it. Mu Yin turned to see several thugs tugging at the mascot girl. Meng Yao gasped, recognizing her as an upperclassman. Mu Yin frowned. You know her? Meng Yao nodded. She's 2 years ahead of me in school. She was really talented in music and even debuted after graduation, but I haven't heard much about her in the past couple of years. The thugs, annoyed by her struggling, shoved flyers against her mouth, snarling. Finish these? You've only got 2 days left and over 10,000 flyers to go. The boss has lost his patience. Seeing someone being assaulted in broad daylight, Meng Yao wanted to rush in, but Mu Yin pressed her back. Hold on. Wait here. He handed her the little rabbit. Shall you take care of this? I'll go. Mu Yin strode forward, voice sharp. Let her go, or I'll call the cops. The thugs turned to glare at him. Who the hell are you to meddle in our business? Mu Yin calmly pulled out his phone. You want to know who I am? Just call me a good Samaritan. One thug snatched the phone and smashed it on the ground. Think you can mess with us? Looking for death. The leader barked, forget the girl. Take this nosy bastard down first. Trying to play hero? Do you even know how out of your league you are? Meng Yao quickly pulled out her phone to call the police, but a nearby shop owner shook his head. Miss, calling won't help. These punks show up every week. By the time the cops arrive, they'll be long gone. Better grab your friend and run. Mu Yin sidestepped a punch and slammed his fist into one thug's chest. The leader swung back and shouted, You'd better ask around. This whole block belongs to Manhwa, and you dare play hero here. Mu Yin ignored the threat and snapped a brutal kick straight to the man's head. Another thug lunged in from behind, locking Mu Yin in a chokehold. Mu Yin drove his elbow back into the man's ribs, snarling. Trying a sneak attack? Coward move. With just a few strikes, the thugs lay groaning on the ground. Mu Yin looked down coldly. You guys are embarrassingly weak. He then reached out and helped the mascot girl back to her feet. At that moment, the police finally arrived, shouting, Nobody move. They glanced at the beaten thugs sprawled on the ground and demanded, What's going on here? Who called this in? At Jiang City People's Hospital, the police were taking statements. It's a special situation. Thanks for cooperating even here at the hospital. Mu Yin replied calmly. Helping the police is the least I can do. He then asked, But those thugs mentioned the area belongs to Manhwa. Is he really that powerful? One officer nodded. He runs an entertainment company. We suspect he's involved in drug smuggling. If you have any evidence, you can hand it over. I have evidence. The girl, who had woken up at some point, suddenly spoke. She pulled out a package. I stole this from the company. Boss will often lock me in the basement. That's where he hides everything. I finally got out, but they keep people watching me every day. No chance to escape. Today, they realized some of the stash was missing. That's why they tried to drag me back. One officer carefully collected the evidence, while another reassured her, "This is very important. Don't worry, we'll protect your identity." The girl clenched her fists, her voice shaking with anger. "I can provide more evidence. Even if it means going down with him, I don't care." Mu Yin stepped forward. "Miss Qin, I admire your courage and intelligence. Once this is over, if you're willing, you can come work at my company." He then nodded to the officers. "If that's all, I'll be heading home." Back at his place, staring at the empty room, Mu Yin muttered, "Mom and Dad still aren't home?" Suddenly, a system prompt appeared. "Scene secure. System rebooting." In the next instant, an ancient statue rose before his eyes, surrounded by scattered scriptures, different from the space he'd seen last time. He read the carved words, "I was born in the primordial chaos, first emerged from the Jade Chamber, splitting the mist of creation." Mu Yan's heart trembled. "Is this about Pangu?" Xiao Yu explained, "It's a depiction of the creation god. Pangu was only one of his avatars in the mortal world. Place your hand on the wall. You'll understand the full text." Following her words, Mu Yin touched the wall. Since creation, the world was peaceful, time was void, until I began collecting treasures and watching the changes of mortals. But invaders from beyond the heavens came to steal what I had made. I slew 10,000 of them, yet was gravely wounded. The cosmos fell into decay. Chaos split open, vermin crept in. So I sealed myself, endlessly reincarnating in the mortal world, awaiting rebirth. Mu Yin muttered, "These invaders, they must be the seeds. To fight thousands alone, truly worthy of being the creator." Xiao Yu shook her head. "No, those are the seeds after they've hatched, called time-space lords. They dwell in the rifts of reality, strong enough to annihilate entire worlds." Mu Yin pressed his hand again. "This place is my sanctuary, filled with treasures. Do not remove them." Glancing at the piles of relics and scriptures, Mu Yin scoffed. "What a stingy hoarder." He turned to Xiao Yu. "If nothing can be taken, then what's the point of being here?" She manipulated the system interface and replied, "According to the plan, this is where you'll undergo your first trial from the main god. System prompt, Trial 1, Heart Demon. Reward, Sanglong Heart Technique." Xiao Yu explained, "The first trial is the Heart Demon. Your enemy will only reveal itself once you enter. The Sanglong Heart Technique was created by the creator himself. Its final move wiped out entire armies. It's said to be the origin of all martial arts." Mu Yan's eyes lit up. "So, if I learn it, I'll be invincible?" Xiao Yu rolled her eyes. "Dream on. If you're ready, select Enter Trial." Mu Yan didn't hesitate and clicked yes. Instantly, voices echoed in his ears. "Broke fool, just die already. Mu Yan, help us please. Let Xiao Xue marry you, but hand over all your money." The whispers clawed deep into his soul. Mu Yan dropped to his knees, clutching his head in pain. "Enough. I already cut ties with the Fong family." The Heart Demon sneered. "Cut ties? Fong Yushue even teamed with Ma Dong to betray you. The tragedy of your last life will repeat. Can you bear it? Remember your father, scraping together his tiny pension to help you. Don't you crave revenge? You think just because you've made money now, those scars will vanish?" Mu Yan's eyes turned bloodshot. "Of course I can endure it, but now I'll never let those things happen again." With hatred burning in his chest, he slammed his fist straight at the Heart Demon. The shadowy figure faded, but a lingering whisper echoed. "Remember your past misery. Don't ever let the same pain return." Outside the trial space, Xiao Yu stared at the system's warning, her expression grim. "This is already the 99th cycle. If another time loop is triggered, the main god's power will be completely drained. There won't be another chance. All we can do is wait." Yet as Mu Yin walked out of the trial, his confidence was unshakable. "Wait for what? I'm already here." Xiao Yu rolled her eyes. "Are you just messing with my nerves?" Mu Yin suddenly frowned. "Hey, where's my reward? Not even a gift pack or something." His body suddenly radiated golden light. A deep voice resounded. It was the creator. The Tsunlong Heart technique, also called the 9-layer formula, is what I comprehended during my journey. It holds 9 lines of incantation. I will only recite them once. Mu Yin repeated the chant. 1 returns to 9. 2 gives birth to form. 3 stabilizes heaven and earth, for sweeps across the seas. 5 unites emotions. 6 steps like the roaming dragon. 7 divides the world. 8 reflects all directions. 1 strike shatters 9 provinces. He sat cross-legged immediately. Though no training method was given, it felt as if he was born knowing it. Offense, defense, breakthrough, retreat, resolve, rotation, flow, and evasion, all integrated seamlessly. But when he reached the 9th form, his heart trembled. He wiped out tens of thousands with just this move? That's insane. Just as he was immersed in practice, Xiaoyu broke in urgently. Time's almost up. We have to go before the time-space channel closes. Mu Yin had no choice but to rise. The currents of time shifted. Familiar scenery returned before his eyes, and he breathed. Finally, I'm back. Opening his system panel, he found his strength and agility had both reached level 24. Stamina had climbed to 20, and his survival points had increased by over 2,000. Mu Yin frowned. Xiaoyu, what's going on? She yawned and replied lazily. No idea. Might be connected to your advancement ability. I'm just a system. The rules? Those are set by the main god. She then opened the bedroom door and walked in. Mu Yin blinked. Wait, hold up, that's my room. Out of the corner of his eye, something on the floor caught his attention, a scroll. Picking it up, he read the title, One Punch Manual Fragment. Huh, so this is a bonus reward? He sat on the sofa, flipping through the pages and mimicking the illustrated stances. After trying a few moves, he sighed. Figures. Freebies are always trash. Even I can tell this thing is incomplete. Still, he remembered Tang Ning's obsession with martial arts. Even if it's just a fragment, maybe he can make some sense of it. In the other room, Xiaoyu stared at the system interface. Suddenly, the silent will of the system spoke. Your mission is to find the fragments of Wu Ji's primordial soul, help him reincarnate, and restore his dominion as the Lord of Time-Space. Yu, this is the last time I'll reach out. Once Wu Ji returns as the Time-Space sovereign, I shall reign over the heavens once more. When the will faded completely, Xiaoyu gazed out the window, lost in thought. The last trace of the main gods will had vanished forever. In the Tang family hall, Tang Ning glanced at Mu Yan's side and asked curiously, President Mu, the young lady who was with you last time, why isn't she here today? Mu Yan felt the same confusion. Ever since that night, Xiaoyu had vanished. The system was still bound to him, but only the cold, mechanical functions like queries and purchases remained. He couldn't help but worry. Where exactly had Xiaoyu gone? Wasn't she supposed to never stray too far from him? Tang Ning noticed his absent look and called again. President Mu, what's wrong? Snapping back, Mu Yin quickly presented the gift he had brought. Besides our business today, I also brought a gift for young Master Tang. He handed over the manual he had found earlier. This is a fragment of a fist technique. I heard you're fond of martial arts, so I thought you might like it. Though it's incomplete, it may not be of much use. Tang Ning opened it, his eyes widening before breaking into delight. President Mu, this page is incredibly valuable to my Tang family. Seeing his excitement, Mu Yin smiled. As expected, only someone with expertise can see the worth. I'm glad it's useful to you. Tang Ning suddenly recalled their first meeting. President Mu, do you practice as well? At the investment conference, your moves were extraordinary. Mu Yin waved his hands quickly. You flatter me. I'm just an amateur. Tang Ning clearly didn't believe him, dragging him outside. Don't deny it. Spar with me once. As long as your request isn't excessive, I'll agree to any terms for cooperation between Tang and Xingyun. In the Tang family courtyard, Tang Ning gestured proudly. This is where I usually train. President Mu, show me your skills. Don't hold back. Mu Yin had no choice but to agree. All right, then forgive my clumsiness. I recently learned a set of techniques. Please guide me. As soon as he finished, Tang Ning lunged forward, one hand reaching to seize him, the other swinging a punch. Mu Yin blocked with one hand. then swiftly grabbed Tang Ning's wrist, braced his stance, and unleashed 9 turns as 1. Tang Ning twisted midair, landing firmly on the opposite side. Mu Yin chuckled. Young Master Tang, your agility is impressive. Tang Ning smirked. You're not bad yourself. Again, after dozens of exchanges, Mu Yin panted heavily. Young Master Tang, what do you think? Should we stop here? Tang Ning was equally drenched in sweat. Enough. With your skills, you could easily rank in the top 3 of the martial arts circuit. I'm no match for you. Mu Yin quickly waved it off. Don't tease me. I know my own limits. And please, don't call me President Mu. Just call me Mu Yin. It feels more natural. Tang Ning laughed heartily, throwing an arm around him. Fine then, Mu Yin. That was a great fight. Let's go seal our cooperation right now. Next time, we'll spar again. At Xingyun Group's office, Mu Yin noticed Zhang Pangyue still working late. Why are you still here at this hour? Zhang looked drained, but perked up when he saw him. President Mu, do you need something? Mu Yin handed over the freshly signed contract. I called, but you didn't answer, so I came myself. Open it up. It's good news. Zhang Pingyue's eyes widened in shock. The Tang family agreed to supply raw materials, and they're cutting costs by another 10%. Mu Yin nodded. Exactly. Tang Ning even said we can make final adjustments tomorrow. Any other requests? Zhang was already beaming. No requests at all. Xingyun won't let you down. Satisfied, Mu Yin stood. Good. I'll head home now. You should wrap up too. Don't overwork yourself. Zhang quickly rose. President Mu, actually, I have one more request. The board members and I were not good at sales. We'd like to transfer the company under your name, so we can focus on our /&D. We all believe in your vision. Only with you leading can Xingyun reach greater heights. And with all the expansion, we're already out of space. The office is a mess. Mu Yin thought for a moment. All right, I'll take over. But we won't stop at routers. I want to develop smartphones. Both hardware and software must leap to a new level. Can you handle that? As for space, we'll move everything into the Fuda building. Together, we'll grow stronger and bigger. The next day, in the Fuda building's chairman office, Mu Yin stretched after a long day of work. Though exhausted, he felt his body tougher than ever. He called System. The interface appeared instantly. He checked his stats: strength level 24, agility level 24, stamina level 20. Advanced attribute, wealth. Advanced ability, energy conversion. Legacy unlocked, 10%. Mu Yin was stunned. In less than a month, his survival point consumption had already doubled compared to before. Mu Yin whispered, "Open the system shop." To his annoyance, a pop-up appeared. Insufficient permissions to access the shop. He cursed under his breath. What the hell, this thing's useless. He frowned. Survival points should have increased, so why hasn't anything changed? Did Xiaoyu secretly siphon them? And where the hell did she go? As if in response to his thoughts, a familiar voice rang out. I'm right here. Turning his head, Mu Yin saw Xiaoyu lounging by the window in a revealing outfit, legs swinging. Master, did you miss me? He scowled, covering his concern with sharp words. Didn't you leave? Why are you back? Xiaoyu giggled. I just want to confirm something. Now I'm back. At that moment, the system chimed. Survival points credited. Current balance, 2,333. 2,333? Mu Yin muttered. Just then, a loud shout echoed from below. Call the police. Someone's about to jump. From a street. Worried passers-by mistook Xiaoyu perched on the windowsill for a suicide attempt. Miss, don't do it. Whatever it is, life's worth living, they cried. Mu Yin rubbed his temples in frustration. For God's sake, get down already, but Xiaoyu's expression suddenly hardened. The scent of a seed, she murmured. On the rooftop under the blazing sun, a young woman really was standing on the ledge, ready to fall. Xiaoyu's eyes sharpened. Master, it's Asian. She reeks of seed energy. Mu Yin bolted upright. Call the cops. I'll get to the roof. He sprinted for the stairs. Reaching the elevator, he saw it crawling down from the 17th floor. The roof was on the 30th. He'd never make in time. Screw it. He charged into the stairwell. Racing upward, his mind churned. Why is Asian here, on Fuda's roof? What happened to her? What is she trying to do? On the rooftop, Ajan clutched a knife, black shadows writhing around her body. Her lips muttered endlessly, kill them all. The rooftop door slammed open. Ajan, Muyin shouted. She glanced at him coldly, still chanting, murderers deserve to die. He edged closer, voice low but urgent. Ajan, what happened? Tell me. I'll help you. All the while he calculated the distance for a rescue. Her eyes were empty, her voice flat. Guilt. Let Muyin feel guilt. In the next heartbeat, she toppled backward off the ledge. Muyin dove forward. Ajan. At the last second, his hand clamped around her wrist. Got you, he exhaled in relief. Pulling her down, he sat her on the ground, trying to calm her. Something terrible must have happened. Then he noticed the knife in her grip, its blade smeared with blood. His gut sank. No, she didn't kill someone, did she? Suddenly, as if possessed, Ajan's expression twisted with hatred. Her eyes burned red as she lunged at him with the knife. Muyin, I'll kill you.